Hello and welcome. Today we're going to take a look at how to create our 3D printed magnet using Autodesk Inventor. Prior to having Inventor open on my computer, I was on the internet and I was searching the images for some good silhouettes to make into magnets that are going to be 3D printed. I found some images that I like and I have them saved to my H drive. I hope you do as well. To start in Inventor, I'm going to come up to Orange File. I'm going to go down to New. I'm going to select Standard IPT and click Create. Then in my ribbon bar, all the way on the left hand side, I'm going to click the drawing of the drawing with the green plus mark, which is 2D Sketch, and I'm going to place the 2D Sketch on the XY plane. Click Front in our World View Cube, always good practice to zoom out before we start. One of the parameters that we have to adhere to is that the area that we're going to be drawing in should be about 2 inches by 2 inches. So to fit that platform, we're going to come up to our Create section in our ribbon bar and we're going to go choose our rectangle tool. I want to start at my origin and I have a yellow dot on my cursor, yellow dot at my origin. I'm going to put the two together and get a green dot. I'm going to click, stretch out a rectangle. I'm going to type 2 on the keyboard for my horizontal dimension. Press the Tab key on the keyboard, type 2, and then press Enter on the keyboard as well. Press the Escape key to let go of the rectangle tool, and I'm going to click Front in my World View Cube to zoom all. Okay? Now that I have that on there, that's my basic area that I'm going to do my drawing in. Now I need to put my drawing in here. So in the ribbon bar at the top, I'm going to move over to the Insert section, and I'm going to find Image. I'm going to click on Image to select it. I'm going to go to my H drive, first initial last name 000. If this doesn't auto-populate for you, there's a pull-down menu here. You can click on that and scroll down to your first initial last name 000, your H drive. Okay? And I'm going to choose the logo that I want for this one and click Open. I'm going to click to place it. I still have another one attached to my cursor. I'm going to press the Escape key to let go of that. And now my image is a little bit too small for my 2 inch by 2 inch. So in order to make it larger, I'm going to go to the bottom right hand corner. I'm going to find the red dot in the bottom right hand corner, click and hold down with my mouse, and I'm going to stretch this a little bit bigger. Okay, once I get it enlarged, I can move it and shape it to the size that I want. Make sure when you're sizing this with the red dot that you're pulling straight out at a horizontal line. Okay, if you end up tipping, that's going to tip your graphic as well, and that's okay if that's what you want, but I'm going to make mine come out horizontal and keep the orientation straight up and down. Okay, next I have this the size that I'm going to be tracing it, so I'm this rectangle that we created, I'm going to right click and select delete. I could also click it and press delete with the keyboard, delete. Either way is fine. I'm just going to get rid of that rectangle that we drew so it doesn't become confusing for us. Okay, now in order to trace around the contour of my shape, I'm going to take and use a new tool for us, which is called a spline tool. I'm going to come up to my Create section in my ribbon bar, and underneath the line icon there's a line button. I'm going to click on the line button and go down to the second one down, which is Spline Controlled Vertex. Click to select it. Before I start tracing, I want to use the zoom wheel on my mouse in order to enlarge this on my screen so that tracing is going to be a little easier for us. Okay, that looks pretty good. Next, with my spline tool connected to my mouse, I'm going to start in one of the corners. I like starting in an outside corner or an inside corner, so I'm going to start down here in the bottom right. And I'm going to click and come up around and start going around the contours. As I click to go around my contours, this little glyph here pops up. Let's talk about this just a second. The green check mark that's here is the OK, which means if you click that, it's going to end your spline tool and let go of the spline tool from your cursor. The plus mark that's here is the apply. It's going to end your spline tool, but still keep the spline attached to your cursor so that you can continue making that spline. Most of the time we're going to click the plus to apply, and when we're finished we're going to click the green check for the OK. But when you're making your spline go around the outside contour of your part, sometimes this glyph gets in the way and you have to move it out of the way in order for you to click your next point. See how it kind of gets in the way there? It's one of the things that we got to work around. If it is in the way, just move it. If it's not, like right there, you can just continue clicking around the outside of your image. The tighter the curve, like right in here, the more clicks you have to do in order to make it come around that area. Okay, same thing up here at the top where I have this tight curve up here. I'm going to put a few more clicks along that so that I can manage that curve that's going around. Once I get down to this inside corner here, this is where I'm going to use the plus mark, which is going to apply it. And it's still going to keep the spline tool attached to my cursor, so I continue on with my cursor and my spline. I'm going to find my green dot where I left off, click to start that spline again, and I'm going to keep coming up and around the area of my shape. I don't have to be too fussy on how precise I'm being, because this looks super large and it looks like I can be really precise on my screen. However, when we print this in real life, it's 2 inches by 2 inches. That's pretty small. So once again, I'm at an interior corner. I'm going to click the plus mark to continue, find my green dot, and continue on with my spline. Same thing here. Plus mark for apply, find my green dot again, and continue up and around. Okay, it's just going to take us a second in order to go around this image. It's a lot of clicking, and looks like I'm going to have to start trying to move my little glyph that keeps following me around. And move him out of the way. He doesn't have to go far, just out of the way enough so that we can find the next shape on our image in order to trace it. Nope, get in the way again. Not a big deal, just something that we have to get used to. Mr. Bowen and I, we looked pretty hard and long to see if that was something that we could make disappear or fade out after a little while, but this is the best we could come up with for you. Keep moving him out of the way if he gets in the way. Usually it's only on one section of your drawing that you're tracing that you need to keep moving that glyph out of the way. Sure seems long when you have to do it though. It does get a little annoying after a while, but it's just something that we have to deal with. And when we come across the straight line here, I can just come across on a straight line, find my green dot on the opposite side. This is the place where I began, and finish it off with the green dot and click. Now once I have that finished, this would be the time for the green check mark to click OK, where it ends my spline tool and puts the spline tool not connected to my cursor anymore. So I can see my spline going all the way around there. Here's a section that I had left off. There's another one. And I started making green dots so that I could end up closing that shape off. Okay, now that we have that shape created, I'm going to select my graphic, click the area in the background here, and press the delete key on the keyboard, or you can right click and then choose delete here as well. Both work. Okay, there I have my graphic going around. There's my splines. Looks pretty good. And I'm going to green check mark finish sketch. Click home in your World View Cube to zoom out, and now we're going to take and extrude this shape. So I'm going to click extrude. I'm going to make that go in a flip direction. I don't want that orange arrow coming towards me. I want it going away. So I'm going to flip that around, and I'm going to change my distance here to 0.125. 0.125, and then click OK. So it's an eighth inch thick. Okay, that looks great. Next, we want to create a space for the magnet to go into. We're going to put the magnet on the back of our part. So in my World View Cube here, I'm going to click the top right corner. I can see the word back now on my World View Cube. Click the back. Now I can see the shape back here. I'm going to come up to our ribbon bar, take a 2D sketch, place this on our back, and I'm going to zoom in on here just a little bit. Now the magnet is circle in shape, so I'm going to use my circle tool in order to create that spot for the magnet to go into. On the gray area, which is my part, I'm going to click and stretch out a circle. The diameter is going to be 0.33. That works well for our magnets, and press enter on the keyboard. Press the escape key to let go of the circle tool. And I'm going to grab the center point of that circle, and I'm going to position this somewhere in the middle of my magnet, middle of my 3D printed part, and I have lots of room all the way around that circle shape. Now I'm going to green check mark finish sketch. I'm going to go back to my World View Cube and click the top right or the top left hand corner. Don't click home because that's going to put you back on your front view. See, and we lose our magnet shape. So I'm going to rotate that back around again. Click the top right or top left corner. And now we're going to take and extrude that circle. You can see it's coming out towards us, so I want to flip that direction around. I want to change my distance to 0.08. 0.08. I want to make sure the cut section is selected and my flipped area was selected, and I have 0.08 for my distance, and click OK. So right now I have the circle pocketed out for my magnet to go into. I have the shape traced. This looks pretty good. I'm going to go up to the orange file in the top left hand corner of my screen. I'm going to go down to Save As. I'm going to put this into my H drive, and I'm going to call this Your Last Name, and then 3D Printed Magnet. Okay. Once you have 3D Printed Magnet for the title, make sure you're in your H drive. We're going to take and click Save from here. Click the Save button. Okay, once it's saved, we need to get into a file format that the 3D printer is going to read. So I'm going to come up to the top, File again, orange file, top left hand corner. I'm going to slide down to Export, and I'm going to go to CAD format. Let me do that for you one more time. We're going to go to orange file in the top left hand corner of the screen, slide down to Export. On the fly menu that pops out to the side, the fly out menu, we're going to click on CAD format. Still in our H drive, still with our name the same, I'm going to change this to a STL file. It's the second one from the bottom, STL. Okay, so I have STL file, my file stayed the same, I'm still in my H drive, and click Save. Awesome, congratulations on creating your 3D printed magnet by tracing it around with the spline tool. That looks great. You're ready to move on to the computer that's connected to the 3D printer. We'll see you next time in the next video, and we'll print this out for you.